Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice of radio. So today, we're going to be having a look at Torchic. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I have been waiting a very, very long time for somebody to come around and prove that Torchic is a good card. And it's actually happened. Torchic is a genuinely, legitimately viable deck and expanded. It is a good Pokemon that can win tournaments. Let me share with you a list. And the good news is, this is entirely legal in expanded. Now the decks come out of Japan, I'll share with you the list, all of that. But the thing to remember is, you can play this deck in expanded. This is a completely viable list. And yeah, okay, it won a tournament, and I know that some people have said, oh, you're showing a lot of decks, Ross. Yeah, I am. Because these are good decks, they've won tournaments, and here's the thing, right? If you want a Torchic deck list, I want you to be able to search on my channel and go, oh, here's a great starting point. If you want a Magikarp and Wailord winning deck list, I want you to be able to search on my channel and go, oh, there's a nice deck list. And you can start from it, or you can ignore it, or you can build on it, or you can use it exactly. But I want to make sure that if there's a deck that's viable, there is a good winning list on this channel that you can use as a baseline for making your own deck, or just use entirely if that's what you wish. So Torchic then. It's a 50 HP basic, and we're not playing any of the evolutions here. But one of the great things about Torchic is it's got the ancient trait Omega Barrage. You can attack twice. So you attack with it, and then you attack again. If you KO with the first attack, your opponent does have to put up a new Pokemon so that you can then go and hit with your second attack. That is phenomenal. The thing is, we need a really, really good attack. And at first glance, Torchic is not helping us out here. 1 Fire Energy. Discard a Fire Energy card from your hand and draw 2 cards. I mean, it's literally Scorched Earth. And look, in the early game, I actually quite like this. Because discard 2 Fire Energy from your hand, draw 4 cards, get yourself set up, that's all fine and dandy. But we're not playing stuff like Volcanion to accelerate energy here, so we don't really need a bunch in the discard pile. Okay. But the second attack is the one we can actually do damage with. 1 Fire Energy, 20 damage, flip a coin. If tails, this attack does nothing. Now, 20 damage for 1 energy might not sound great. And it's not. And 20 damage on a coin flip, not great. On a 50 HP basic, yeah, there's a lot of things to dislike here. But the thing is, we're now at a brilliant stage that we've got such a combination of cards that we can roll with this. So first things first, we have got Victini. Victini is rather important, because Victini lets you reflip. So if you do flip tails, not a problem, you can reflip it. It means that 50% chance of hitting a heads becomes a 75% chance of hitting a heads, and you're doing it twice, so one of your attacks should go through. No guarantee, but every 2 turns, 3 of your 4 attacks should go through with Victini on the bench. But you're still only doing 20 damage, but don't worry, we can do better. You see, we've got Volcanion EX. Now, Volcanion's ability is rather nice indeed. Once during your turn, you may discard a Fire Energy from your hand. If you do, during this turn, your basic Fire Pokemon's attacks, and Torchic is a basic Fire Pokemon, do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And while we're here, yes, this will count for both of your attacks here, the first and the second, and yes, it will count against the active, and if it's KO'd, the new active. So all of a sudden, let's say you get 2 steam ups off here. You're now doing 80 damage. 80 damage is good, but you could actually get 4 steam offs here. Well, steam ups off, and then you're doing 140 damage. Well, now we're looking a little bit better, but ladies and gentlemen, we can do even better than that. Because we've got Hustle Bout. Hustle Bout is a great little card, which says that as long as it's attached to a Pokemon, which has 30 HP or less, and has damage counters on it, your attacks do 60 more damage. So now this will give you a base of 80 on top of all the steam ups. So 1 steam up 110, 2 steam ups 140, 3 steam ups 170, 4 steam ups 200. Well, hang on a second. How do we get the damage on Torchic? Great news. Team Magma's secret base, which fits so beautifully because, it's kind of a fire Pokemon. And that's brilliant. What it does, when you put a basic Pokemon into play that is not a Team Magma Pokemon, you take 2 damage counters. And what that does is it puts Torchic down to 30 HP while having 2 damage counters on, which will activate Hustle Belt perfectly. And now we're rolling. So you have Team Magma's secret base down so that you can play down your Torchic. You get your Volcanion on the bench so you can steam up. And you pop a Hustle Bout on, and now you're doing a lot of damage. And the aim here really isn't hitting 200 a turn. It's great if you can. If you can KO 2 Tapu Lele in 1 turn and take 4 prizes, yay! But that's not terribly likely. The aim here is far simpler. Let's say you can hit 110. That is either 3 steam ups, no Hustle Bout, or 1 steam up with a Hustle Belt, and then you're hitting 110. Well, that's already enough to KO something like a Trevenant. And if you're against those Night March decks with stuff like Pumpkaboo, they're going to be going down quite simply. Or Pre-Evolutions, or even if you're really lucky, a Shaymini X. And then 2 of those, you're up to 220. And that's a 1-hit KO, well, I mean a 2-hit KO, but one after another, on something like a Zoroark or a Rayquaza, which in Japan at the moment, and over here as soon as we hit February, are going to be the best decks in Expanded. But also stuff like Ultra Necrozma, pretty good, Blacephalon, they'll be KO'd there as well. And if you can take 2 prizes per Torchic, you're going to crush an awful lot of decks here. You can still flip double tails even with Victini out, that's going to suck. And you can not get your Volcanion out, or your opponent can have an Alolan Muck to turn off your Volcanion. But this is not some ridiculous, hideous, impossible to get combination of. You need a Stadium, you need a tool, you need a basic Pokemon and an energy. And then maybe a second basic and a second energy, basic on the bench, energy in hand. This is doable. This was done with Volcanion decks when Volcanion was big. And then you win. It's so much fun and it's legitimately viable. What changed? Hustle Belt. Simple as that. Now, it is good that there's a lot more GXs in Expanded than there were a little while ago. That certainly helps. And yeah, you're going to come across stuff like Seismitoad, which is going to hurt a lot, because they hit you for weakness. Easy one hit KO with Quaking Punch while item locking you. But, still not the end of the world. You can still get some decent attacks off. Now, in terms of other Pokemon, we're playing a couple of Shaman to draw cards. Everything else we've mentioned. In terms of trainer cards, we got 4 Professor Sycamore and 4 Cynthia. They are the best ways to draw as many cards as you can as quick as you can. And then in terms of your item cards, we got 4 Ultra Ball, because it searches any of your Pokemon. 3 Level Ball, it searches out your Torchic and your Victini. And then we see some real speed going on here. 4 copies of Trainer's Mail and 4 copies of Acrobike. Acrobike lets you get one of the top 2 cards from your deck in your hand and discard the other. And Trainer's Mail lets you look at the top 4 cards of your deck and grab a trainer card. Really good for getting something like that Hustle Belt, for argument's sake. And this just gives you speed. And it's not like you got to be worried about Garbodor, because you should be 1-hit KOing each other, except you can maybe KO 2 in 1 turn, so Garbodor is not an issue for you here. We obviously see 4 copies of Team Magma's secret base, pretty important as we mentioned. 4 copies of Hustle Bout, pretty important like we mentioned. 3 copies of Floatstone, because you just really want your Torchic attacking every turn. You don't want a Volcanion or a Shaman stuck in the active. We see 3 copies of Super Rod and 1 copy of Energy Recycler. And these are important because, first of all, you need to be able to have a Torchic every turn. You need 6 Torchic. That's crucial here. You need to make your opponent run through 6 Torchic to win the game. But also here, you're going to be discarding energy, using stuff like Acrobike and especially Volcanion, and you need to get those energy back. So Super Rod being able to get your energy or your Pokemon and Energy Recycler are big, because you want to use your energy for Steam Up and then get them back for more Steam Up and for attaching to Torchic. I've been waiting for Torchic to be good for as long as Torchic's been out. We've all been hoping Torchic can be good, and I think we might actually now have stumbled onto an expanded deck where Torchic is legitimately awesomely viable. And I could not be happier about that. But I want to know what you think about it. So please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but I would ask you to remember the most important rule is all. Be nice, would you? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @LeWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays for some more Wassy action. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.